guys, Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out, we are finally doing the official launch for our 54-shot BoomDozer drum here. Now, if you guys remember, we did a live stream that kind of leaked it and kind of talked about it, but we were trying to print a bunch of these so that, you know, when we officially go live, we have these ready to go and you don't have to wait weeks to get, right? We want to get these things out to you quick. So this is the official kind of video, how-to, and just kind of what it's all about. So if you guys remember, I mean, a lot of you guys remember, right, we had our 24-shot, which was just a 6-shot times 4, right? So I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And some people like this. This is great for them, right? But we figured, you know what? Since we've already kind of, I would say, mastered the inline with our XFKOs here, we figured, you know what? Why can't we do that with this big drum? And it was a little bit tougher than we thought. And you know, I've gone through a lot of iterations on this till I finally got it to the point where you don't need to modify your BoomDozer in any way. You can simply just take out your old, your old cylinder, put in the new cylinder, and you're ready to go. You can do other modifications, you know, like taking out the air restrictor and stuff like that, but it's not required. It was kind of the same thing for this, where you just drop this in and you're ready to go, right? So let's get right into this thing so we know what it's all about. First off, some people ask, well, how does that inline, how does an inline clip work? And to kind of make it simple, you have this, which is basically the concept behind our XFKO stuff here. So what happens is you can load in multiple darts. We're gonna put in 3 here. And you can see they're kind of loose in there, right? They're just kind of loose. And you have this front part, or this kind of cylinder up front here, which is kind of the actual barrel itself, which is a little bit smaller of a diameter, which is really going to kind of be the main part when you're shooting. So what you do is typically you want to give it a downward thrust, and you're going to seat the, the last dart in the series. And if you notice, I could drop these last 2. You see that last one's in there? So when you shoot, the air is going to try and find the least path of resistance, and that's going to be out this way. So the last dart here, if it's seated, will shoot out the barrel. Now what happens sometimes, if you cock it again and shoot, nothing might happen. You're like, what's going on? Because you need to reseat the next kind of round or chamber inside the actual barrel itself. So really that's the whole concept behind an inline clip. And we figured, you know what? We can do the same thing here. So what happens is it's the same thing. You just have 3 cylinders. So you'd put, a couple of them in there. You put 1, 2, and then the last one is going to sit actually inside that chamber, so it is ready to go. So you could fit basically 9 on each kind of thing here. So I'm going to throw in another 3. So we're going to look something like this here, like that. Boom. And the tips will stick out just a little bit on the final 3rd round, but the 3rd round is technically right inside the tip. It's ready to go. So what happens is as you shoot, right, you shoot your 6, just like with the inline clips, the other rounds in the back, they're not seated. So for me, sometimes I lose track of when I'm shooting. I forget, oh, did I already shoot 6? Do I have to give it the downward thrust? So sometimes you're shooting and you might pump it and nothing comes out, so you can give it a downward thrust and it should seat the chambers in the next round. For me, I noticed when I did a downward thrust, it would seat a lot of them, but I would give it a downward thrust after your first 6 shots to ensure they're actually seated. And man, the performance of this is about on par with this right here. Very, very close, maybe slightly. So what I want to do is I just want to shoot this thing to kind of show you guys kind of what it's like. Now, it is pouring outside, so mind me shooting at my door here in my garage. I'm probably like, 12 to 15 feet away from the door, pretty close. But you could see, this thing's crazy. It shoots hard. These things are hitting the door and bouncing all the way back to me. The only time it didn't shoot is when, for some reason on mine, the cylinder wasn't moving. I probably didn't put the thing back together correctly. But yeah, for the most part, it turned just fine in shooting, or I didn't give it that downward motion. But man, this thing, it's a lot of darts to pick up. Every time that I was doing just kind of practicing and shooting these, I was just, my gosh, I'm like, this is just so many darts to pick up, 50 plus. Now, it can hold, again, 54 darts. So you get 18 shots of 3 darts each, which is awesome. So there you go, guys. That's just a quick shooting video. I know a lot of you guys wanted to see that. And I want to show you guys this up close, too. It's kind of, it's kind of neat. Looking at it on the particular blaster, it looks kind of cool, right? Right now, we only have the orange, or depending on when you guys watch this, maybe it could be a week down the road, we should have the blues too. But these do take a while to print. We do it in kind of higher quality to make sure that, you know, this is a solid piece right here. This is a really good, it's a big piece, but it still looks good on the blaster. Up close, yeah, looks really, really good. I think the blues are going to be a seller. I mean, you guys were asking for this thing for, man, for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks that we were developing it. You guys were asking all the time. There's 4 or 5 of you guys are like, when is it done? When is it done? When is it done? So this is the official video. Now, some of you guys are going to ask, how easy is it to install? And to be honest, I mean, I don't really need to make an install guide because it's really just the same as the 24-shot one, the smaller one. Really, you just take off all the screws off, you know, off the outside of the BoomDozer. And again, on the back of the BoomDozer, right towards the part where you can clip on like a, you know, a butt plate or something like that, or a stock, there's usually a little bit of solvent welding, so be careful there. Pretty much you just pull that off, keep note of where everything is at, take out your old cylinder, put in your new cylinder, button it up, and that's it. No cutting, modifying, gluing, nothing. It literally should take you probably about 5 minutes. For me, it was just doing all the screws. There is a lot of screws on the one side. So installation is an absolute breeze. So if you wanted to go back to your megaxl rounds, you can just take this out, put it on the shelf, put back in your stock one, you're good to go. Our first few iterations, if you guys remembered, we had it where you had to cut the air restrictor out. Now, personally, I would do that for all of them so you can get maximum performance, but you know, that's just me. I would say for now, you don't need to, I mean, you don't need to do it for ours. We modified it so that this is just a dump right in and go. Overall, guys, you know, this is one of my most proudest kind of mods that I've made because I was able to do something that I didn't think that I was going to be able to do with this, right? There was a lot of tweaking, a lot of innovation to get this to work and have you guys put some serious rounds downstream. I mean, just, gosh, it looks so good. I mean, just seeing it in person, being able to shoot all those rounds downstream, for me, is just unbelievable. But, yeah. Again, I just want to make this quick video because I was super excited about getting this out. They should be available, especially the oranges right now, on our Etsy store, so make sure you get them before they are sold out. I know, again, there's at least 5 or 6 of you guys who are going to order these things immediately. So I have printed a few, and yeah, they're all ready to go. Anyways, that's all I had for the BoomDozer 54-shot drum. My gosh, it is so good. It almost looks like a grenade. You could throw it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Definitely leave it down in the comments. Thanks again, Fox fans.